March 27, 1999, nightfall. The sky was a deep inky black, dotted with faint stars that seemed to flicker in and out of existence. The air was thick with tension, a palpable sense of anticipation hanging over the military base. A lone warrior prepared for battle. His movements were deliberate, each action a practiced routine honed over years of training and experience. The weight of the mission ahead bore down on him, but his resolve was unwavering. Lieutenant Colonel Darrell Zelko, a seasoned pilot with the U.S. Air Force, strapped himself into the cockpit of his F-117 Nighthawk stealth fighter. The cockpit was a familiar space, filled with the hum of electronics and the faint scent of aviation fuel. Zelko's hands moved with practiced ease, checking instruments and securing his harness. The air crackled with anticipation. Every sound seemed amplified, from the distant rumble of engines to the soft murmur of voices over the radio. The tension was almost tangible, a living thing that wrapped itself around the base. Tonight's mission was part of Operation Allied Force. This was a critical operation, aimed at crippling the enemy's ability to communicate and coordinate their defenses. The stakes were high, and failure was not an option. The target, a communications facility in Belgrade, Serbia. This facility was a key node in the enemy's network, and taking it out would deal a significant blow to their operations. The mission was clear, but the path to success was fraught with danger. Zelko taxied to the runway. Rain lashed down, turning the tarmac into a slick, reflective surface. The wind howled, rattling the aircraft and adding an extra layer of challenge to an already daunting task. The stormy weather mirrored the turbulence of the mission ahead. He pushed the throttle forward. The engines roared to life, a powerful surge of energy that vibrated through the entire aircraft. The controls responded smoothly, a testament to the precision engineering of the Nighthawk. The Nighthawk roared into the stormy Serbian night. He was alone. The darkness enveloped the aircraft, the storm clouds obscuring any light from the ground below. Zelko's focus was razor sharp, his mind a blend of calculated strategy and instinctive reaction. The mission had begun, and there was no turning back. The objective of Zelko's mission was simple: disrupt Serbian communications. NATO was engaged in Operation Allied Force, a military campaign against the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. The F-117 Nighthawk, with its radar-evading technology, was a crucial asset for NATO. The storm intensified as Zelko approached Serbian airspace. Lightning flashed, thunder boomed, his instruments flickered. He gripped the controls tighter. He was committed. Two F-16 Vipers, call signs Viper 1 and Viper 2, escorted Zelko's Nighthawk. These jets were not just any ordinary aircraft. They were the epitome of precision and power, designed to dominate the skies. Their mission was clear: to ensure the safe passage of the Nighthawk through the perilous journey ahead. They were his eyes in the storm, guiding him through the treacherous weather. The storm clouds loomed ominously, casting dark shadows over the landscape below. The turbulence was relentless, shaking the aircraft and testing the pilot's skills to their limits. The Vipers flew in perfect synchronization, their movements a testament to their rigorous training and unyielding discipline. But the storm proved too powerful. Static crackled over the radio, a harsh reminder of the uncontrollable forces of nature. The pilots strained to hear each other's voices, their communication hampered by the relentless interference. The storm's fury was unrelenting, and it became clear that continuing the mission under such conditions was becoming increasingly dangerous. Viper 1 to Nighthawk 1. We're returning to base. The storm's messing with our systems. The decision was made with a heavy heart, but it was the only viable option. The Vipers had to prioritize their safety and the integrity of their aircraft. The storm was a formidable adversary, and it was winning this round. Zelko acknowledged the transmission. He was on his own. The realization hit him hard, but there was no turning back now. He had to rely on his training, instincts, and the capabilities of his Nighthawk to navigate through the storm and complete his mission. He continued his flight path, deeper into the heart of enemy territory. He was exposed, vulnerable. The enemy's radar systems would soon detect his presence, and he had to be prepared for any eventuality. The landscape below was hostile, filled with threats that could emerge at any moment. Zelko's mind raced with thoughts of the mission's objectives, the risks involved, and the importance of staying focused. Every second counted, and he knew that his survival depended on his ability to remain calm and composed under pressure. The storm was just one of many challenges he would face, and he was determined to overcome them all. Unbeknownst to Zelko, a formidable adversary awaited him on the ground. Lieutenant Colonel Zoltán Dani, a highly decorated officer in the Serbian army, commanded an anti-aircraft missile battery. Dani was a seasoned veteran. He had studied NATO tactics. He was determined to protect his homeland. Dani's battery was equipped with the sophisticated S-117 Nighthawk missile system, a Cold War relic, but still deadly in the right hands. Tonight, Dani believed, was his night. Dani's radar operator's voice crackled over the comms. "Sir, I have a contact, bearing 275, range 30 kilometers. It's faint, but it's there." Dani's pulse quickened. This was it. He had trained for this moment. Track it, report any changes. He held his breath. The seconds ticked by. "Then, sir, the contact is holding steady. It's definitely airborne, but it's strange. The radar signature is small." Dani frowned. "Small or not, we have a target. Prepare to engage." Dani's voice was calm. He knew the capabilities of his missiles. He trusted his crew. He exhaled slowly. "Target locked. Missile away." The ground shook. A plume of fire shot skyward. The missile, trailing smoke and fire, sped towards its target. Dani watched intently. "Eject!" Zelko's radar warning receiver blared. He had precious seconds. He initiated evasive maneuvers, pushing the Nighthawk to its limits, but it was too late. A deafening explosion rocked the aircraft. Warning lights flashed, alarms screamed, the cockpit filled with smoke. Fire licked at his flight suit. He pulled the ejection handles. He was blasted into the night sky. Zelko landed hard in a farmer's field. He was alive. Injured, but alive. He detached his parachute and activated his emergency beacon. He was now a fugitive in enemy territory. He found a ditch and hid. He could hear Serbian troops searching for him. He lay still, praying for a miracle. Hours later, the distinct thump-thump of a U.S. helicopter reached his ears. Salvation. The downing of Zelko's F-117 was a major propaganda victory for Serbia. The image of the wreckage was broadcasted far and wide, symbolizing a rare triumph against a technologically superior adversary. It was a moment that Serbia seized upon to boost morale and demonstrate resilience in the face of overwhelming odds. But for Zelko and Dani, it was a story of survival and respect. Zelko, the pilot of the downed aircraft, and Dani, the man responsible for shooting it down, found themselves on opposite sides of a brutal conflict. Yet their personal stories transcended the war. Zelko's survival after ejecting from his aircraft and navigating hostile territory was a testament to his training and willpower. Dani's respect for his adversary grew as he learned more about the man he had targeted. Years later, the two men met. They shook hands. They shared a drink. This meeting was not just a casual encounter, it was a profound moment of reconciliation. Both men had been shaped by the war, and their meeting was a symbol of the possibility of peace and understanding. They reminisced about that fateful night, each sharing their perspective and experiences. They toasted to their shared experience. The toast was more than just a gesture, it was an acknowledgement of their shared humanity. Despite the chaos and destruction of war, they found common ground. Their toast was a tribute to the courage and resilience that both had shown, and a recognition of the bond that can form even between former enemies. They were, after all, soldiers who had done their duty. Each had followed orders and performed their roles to the best of their abilities. Their actions were driven by a sense of duty and loyalty to their respective countries. In the end, they were both men who had faced the horrors of war and emerged with a deeper understanding of themselves and each other. The night the stealth bomber fell was a night of chaos and courage. The skies were filled with the sounds of conflict, and the ground was a battleground of survival. Zelko's ejection and subsequent evasion were acts of sheer bravery. Dani's precision in targeting the aircraft was a display of skill and determination. Both men exhibited extraordinary courage in the face of danger. It was a night that proved that even in the midst of war, humanity can endure. Amidst the violence and destruction, moments of compassion and respect emerged. Soldiers on both sides showed that even in the darkest times, the light of humanity can shine through. The story of Zelko and Dani is a testament to the enduring spirit of human connection.